Good morning, friends. In second chapter, we have seen that types of bolts and joints. In that types of bolts, there are mainly two types of bolts. First one is black bolt, and second one is high strength bolts. Then now we are going to see the types of joints. Before that, in last lecture we have learned about the black bolts, the high strength bolts, where it can be used, its advantages, its disadvantages, then various grades of bolts, then uh, what is meant by 4.6 grade bolt, then how it can be used in industry, civil industries. All these learnt in last lecture. Now we are going to see the types of joints. In types of joints, there are mainly two types of joints. First one is lap joint and second one is butt joint. As the name suggests that is lap joint. Lap means overlapping. In this lap joint, when two plates are to be connected, are overlapped over each other, and then bolting or welded connection is provided, then such type of connection is known as lap joint. That is, in lap joint, when one plate is placed over another plate or overlapped one another the other plate to connect each other by means of bolted or welded joints is called as lap joint. Once again, suppose there are two notebooks. You overlap these two notebooks over each other and then made a connection over it, that is bolted connection, to fix these two plates. Then such type of connection is known as lap connection or lap joint. See here, a double bolted lap joint. Here two bolts are connected to connect these two plates. This is first plate, this one second plate, and these two plates are connected by two bolts for carrying a load P. Such type of connection, that is these two plates are overlapped or one another, then such type of connection is known as double bolted lap joint. If a single bolt is provided here, then it is known as single bolted lap joint. The distance between the edge of one plate up to the edge of another plate is known as lap length, as shown in figure. In single bolted lap joint, this is the first plate and this is the second one plate. See, this is the first plate. This plate is below, since here is a dotted line, that is this edge is not seen from top view. So this plate is placed below and this plate is placed above this plate. This plate number 1, suppose this plate number 2, this plate number 1 is placed below this plate number 2 and then bolted connection is provided. See here, this is the first plate, this is the second plate. Since this plate is shown as dotted, so it is below. See here, the cross section is here. This is first plate or second plate and this is the another plate placed over it and then bolt is provided. Such type of connection is known as single bolted lap joint. Then now see double lap joint. Here is a plate, this is the plate, here is dark line, so this plate is above, and here is a dotted line, that is this plate is below, that is this plate, here is the plate, this plate is below and this plate is above, that is this plate is above, this is a cross section. Then when these plates are placed one over each other and then bolting is provided, then such type of connection is known as double lap joint. That is, these two plates are overlapped on each other and then bolted connections are provided. Such type of connection is known as double lap joint. Here number of rows of connections or bolts are different, or it may be vary. Here two lines are shown, it may be 3 or it may be 4 according to the type of loading or how many load we are going to apply on this connection. The next one is double bolted lap joint. Now here is the first plate, then this one is the second plate and this one is the third plate. See here, this one is a plate placed below this plate and then another plate is placed in between these two plates. Then such type of connection is known as double bolted lap joint. Here this plate carries a load P, then since these two plates are provided towards this side, these two plates carry the half load, and here is a single plate, so it carries the load P, and these two plates combining carries total load P, so that this connection is in equilibrium condition. Then as per IS 800 2007, minimum lap shall not be less than 4 times thicker part jointed or 40 mm whichever less. That is, when we are going to overlap the two plates on each other, then the minimum lap shall not be less than 4 times thicker part. Suppose there are the two plates, one plate is 10 mm, another plate is 8 mm. Then here is thicker section is 8 mm. Then it's 4 times, that is 8 into 4, that is 32 mm. This is the minimum lap, 32 mm is the minimum lap, or 40 mm whichever less, that is 32 mm or 40 mm. You have to keep the less lap to connection. Such type of connections are recommended by IS 800 2007. Then another one is criteria is there, that is lap is not greater than. So when we are going to lap two plates, the lap should be less than 40 mm or minimum lap should not be less than 4 times thicker part jointed or 40 mm, that is 30 mm 40 mm, that is the minimum is taken. Then second one is lap is not greater than 4 times the thickness of thicker plate. See here, it should not be greater than thickness 4 times thickness of thicker plate. There are two plates, take thicker plate and multiply by 4, then it should not be, the lap should not be greater than this product. This is very important. And it is not greater than 40 mm whichever is less. So while overlapping 40 mm or it should not be greater than 4 times of thickness of thicker plate. That is very important. Then now we are going to start with butt joint. As name suggests, butt means in front of each other. That is, here the two plates which are to be connected are not overlapped on each other, but they are placed in front of each other, and then another plate is provided below or upper side of these two plates, and then connection is made. If a single plate is used, then it is known as single butt joint, and if two plates, one at the top and another at the bottom is provided, then such type of connection is known as double butt connection. See here, when two plates are kept face to face, that is in front of each other. See here, this is the first plate and this is the second plate. First plate and this is the second plate. As you take it, this is first or this is first. This is first, this is one second, or this is first, this one is the second. These two plates are placed in front of each other or kept face to face. These plates are kept face to face without overlapping to each other. They are not overlapped. They are kept in front of each other or face to face, and then another plate is provided over it, and then bolts are provided. Such type of connection is known as single cover butt joint. Such type of connection is known as single butt. And here, this is the first plate, this one is the second plate. To connect these two plates, there is one upper plate and there is a lower plate. These two plates are kept over these two plates which are to be connected, and then bolted connections are made. Then such type of connection is known as double cover butt joint. See the difference. In lap joint, these two plates which are to be connected are overlapped to each other and then connection is made, that is lapping connection. But in butt connection, the two plates which are to be connected are kept face to face each other, and then another plate is placed over it and then bolting is provided. Then such type of connection is known as single cover butt joint. If these two plates are placed in front of each other and two plates are placed, one above and another is below, and then connection is made, then such type of connection is known as double cover butt joint. Now in single cover butt joint, as I explained, when cover plate is provided on one side of butt joint is called as single cover butt joint, and in double cover butt joint, when cover plate is provided on both sides of the butt joint is called as double cover butt joint. Then next, when these plates are connected by lap joint, either by single bolt or double bolt, or these plates are connected by butt joint, that is single butt cover or double butt cover, and these connections are made to carry certain load in a structure. Suppose in a roof structure, these plates are provided to carry the loads. When we are going to increase the load, as load increases beyond the capacity of the joint, then there must be certain failure, and these failures are known as mode of failures. And these mode of failures are, first one is failure of plate. In that failure of plate, again it may be shearing failure of bolt, it may be bearing failure of bolt, it may be bearing failure of plate, it may be tearing failure of plate, or block shear failure. We are going to see this block shear failure separately in next unit, but we are deal with these failures, that is shearing failure of bolt, bearing failure of bolt, and bearing failure of plate, tearing failure of plate. These are the modes of failure of butt joint. Then in that, we'll start with shear failure of bolt. Now in last year we have learned about shear force and bending moment diagrams. In that, shear force is nothing but it is the algebraic sum of all the forces acting on the beam towards left or right part of the section, that is summation of all the loads acting on the beam. Then here in the same manner, when the loads are acting on the structure in vertical direction, there must be a failure, and that failure is a shear failure. Likewise, when the plate and bolts are connected as per a lap joint and subjected to tensile force. It induced shearing stress in bolt. Now here, when you are going to apply a tensile force, that is you are going to apply the tension in the connected plates, then shearing stress is induced in bolt. The maximum shear force in the bolt may exceed the nominal shear capacity of bolt. See here, the maximum shear force in the bolt, the maximum shear force in the bolt may exceed, it may increase the nominal shear capacity of the bolt. Nominal shear capacity means it is the load carrying capacity of the bolt. It exceeds, then there should be a shear failure. Again, when a bolt is connected to two plates with a single plane of shear, interface is called as single shear failure. When a bolt is connected to two plates on either sides of a plate with a two plane of shear, interface is called double shear failure. See here in the diagram, shear failure of bolt. Here is a lap connection is shown. Connect these lap connections connected by a bolt. This is the shear plane. Since a horizontal force is applied, a tensile force is applied on these two plates, then this section, that is this bolt section, is carrying certain load in this direction, that is applied load direction, and above portion is carrying certain load in this direction towards right, and some part is carrying load towards left. Due to that, there is shearing occurred. This is the shear. See the directions of arrows. One arrow is going in the direction, another arrow is going in this direction. Then these direction of arrows carries the same amount of load, so that a tangential plane is developed and these bolts are failed. Such type of failure is known as single shear failure plane. Then bearing failure of bolt. Bearing failure of bolt is nothing but when a bearing failure of bolt occurs when the bolt shank. Now see, this portion is known as shank and this portion is known as head of the shank. This is shank, this is the body of the bolt. Bearing failure of bolt occurs when the bolt shank is crushed. Bolt shank is crushed around half circumference by the plates, which is stronger in bearing. See here, this is the plate. In that, this bolt gets teared off or cut off, but plate remains as it is. That is, the strength of plate is more than the strength of this plate, strength of this bolt. Then such type of failure is known as bearing failure of bolts. Then bolts used for connection is made of high strength steel than plate. The bearing failure of bolt does not occur in practice. See here, if bolts used for connection is made of high strength steel than plate, if the strength of bolt is more than this plate, then the bearing failure of bolt does not occur in practice. Such type of bearing failure does not occur because the strength of this bolt is more than this strength of the plate. But when the strength of plate is more than the strength of bolt, then in such time there is a failure, and that failure is bearing failure. See here, bearing failure of plate. This is the connection. This is lap connection. Bolts are provided here and load is applied. Due to that application, here plate is going to tear off. That is, the thickness of plate is going to reduce than its original thickness. In such case, bearing failure of plate occurs. That is, in this case, the strength of bolt is more than the strength of the plate. Then in this case, bearing failure of plate occurs. The bearing failure of plate is known as crushing of plates, that this plate goes on crushing, its strength reduces, it goes on weakening. A plate may be crushed when bearing stress in plate is exceeds the design bearing stress. That is, if the plate is designed for certain stress and the stress is exceeds its limits, then bearing failure of plate occurs. Then tearing failure of plate. In this tearing failure of plate, tearing or tension failure of plate is occurs when the bolts are stronger than the plates. That is, here bolt remains intact, but the plate is teared off. That is totally crushed. That is totally cracked. In such case, such failure is known as tearing failure of plate. Tearing failure of plates occurs when the tensile stress in the plate at the net cross-section area, this is the cross-sectional area, net cross-sectional area is exceeds than the design tensile stress. This plate is designed to carry certain tensile stress, and this stress exceeds beyond the load carrying capacity of the plate, then tearing failure of plate will occur there. Now we are going to see the strength of bolt in shear, tension, bearing and efficiency of joint. Now the strength is nothing but it is the load carrying capacity, or it is also known as a bolt value. A bolt value or load carrying capacity or strength of bolt are same. So here we are going to see the shearing strength of bolt, and another one is bearing strength of bolt. Shearing strength of bolt in single shear. This is the two plates. These are the two plates connected by overlapping each other by bolted connection. Then the designed shear strength in bolt. Designed shear strength in bolt. V is the shear. D for designed strength in bolt. Shear design strength in bolt is given by the formula Fu upon root 3 gamma m1 nn into a and b in single shear, and this Fu upon root 3 gamma m1 into bracket 0.78 ASB. This is taken 0.78 is the area, net area of the bolt is considered, because while bolting certain area is removed from this plate, so actual gross area is reduced. So we are going to consider it as a 0.78 of net area. Then the shear strength of bolt for double shear. In double shear we are going to consider here number, that is 1 and 1. Is here Fu is ultimate stress, F for stress, U for ultimate or final ultimate stress. Gamma is the partial factor of safety for bolts. Here is the design shear strength in bolt. This formula is used for double shear. Then bearing strength of bolt, then designed, D for designed, P for bolt design strength in bolt. The bolt may be deformed due to high local bearing stress between the bolt and the plates. Here we are going to use this formula. We know we are going to calculate this Kp. Kp is nothing but it is the bolt constant. AB area of bolt, FUB ultimate stress in bolt, gamma m1 this is the partial factor of safety which I learned in last chapter, last unit, where FUB ultimate strength of bolt, gamma m1 partial safety factor, it is taken as 1.25. Kb is the bolt constant and it is taken the least value among following 4 cases, that is E upon 3d0. E is nothing but it is the edge distance. 3d0, d0 is the gross diameter. P upon 3d0, P is the pitch upon 3d0, d0 gross diameter minus 0.25. FU ultimate stress in bolt, FU ultimate stress in plate or 1. These four values are calculated, and among these four values, which is minimum, that value is taken as kb, that is bolt constant, and this value is put here. We know the diameter of bolt, T is the thickness of plate, F will be ultimate stress in bolt, gamma 1 partial factor safety, that is taken as 1.25, and from that we can calculate the bearing strength of bolt, that is design strength of bolt. Then bolt value is nothing but it is the minimum value of shearing and bearing, that is strength of bolt or bolt value. Bolt value is the least value of strength of bolt in shearing or bearing, and number of bolts n is equal to design strength of bolt value, that is the load is given in the problem, that load is the design strength, that is load carrying capacity of the bolt, and that value is divided by bolt value, that is the minimum of shearing and bearing value. Then we will get the number of bolts. Then basic terms used in connection, that is pitch. Pitch, see here, this is the pitch, that is the distance between two bolts, and this distance is parallel to the applied load. When pitch is nothing but it is the distance between center to center distance between two bolts, but this distance must be parallel to the applied load, then such distance is known as pitch. While the center to center distance between two bolts, but this distance is normal to the applied load, normal or perpendicular to the applied load. This is the applied load and this distance is normal, that is perpendicular, then such distance is known as gauge distance. Then this is the edge distance. Edge distance is nothing but the last bolt center to the edge of the plate, that distance is known as edge distance. You can see this edge distance, or this is the edge distance, or it is also known as end distance, and this is known as a edge distance. Edge distance is normal to the force, while end distance is the parallel to the applied force. This is the direction of load or force. See here, gauge distance, it is the center to center distance of two consecutive bolts of adjacent rows is measured at right angle to the direction of loads. This is the edge distance. It is the distance from the center of bolt hole to the nearest edge of the plate measured perpendicular to the direction of load. It is the distance from center of bolt hole to nearest edge of the plate measured parallel to the direction of load. Then last, efficiency of joint. Efficiency of bolted joint, it is the ratio of strength of the bolted joint to the strength of a solid plate. It is expressed in percentage. It is percentage efficiency is equal to strength of the bolted joint into 100 divided strength of solid plate. Thank you.